label. Situated along the central western coast of Africa, Gabon is among the most fertile lands on the planet. But despite its tropical climate, only 5% of the abundantly available land is being harvested. Opportunities exist in serving the domestic market as well as in exports to reap maximum benefits from agriculture.
Around 5 million of arable land. We have the water, we have the sun. Gabon is a sunny country, as you say. And by the way, we are a member of the International Solar Alliance out of the 121 countries. So there are various opportunities in the country.
Les partenaires du secteur privé, parce que ce qu'il faut déjà savoir ici.
The private sector plays a critical role in the development of agriculture, which is a real sector of the economy. Since it is a real sector of the economy, it can only be developed by the private sector. And here the ambition that the government has to develop this sector can be met by partners such as our Singaporean partners, who are working side by side with the government to develop this sector. And it has now been proven to us that without the help of private players in the food sector and exports, it will be impossible to bring visibility to the agriculture sector.
Aujourd'hui, il n'était pas possible d'avoir plus de lisibilité, de visibilité du secteur agricole.
The emerging Gabon strategic plan was announced by President Ali Bongo Ondimba in 2009. Diversification of the economy being key. There was focus on upping the country's agricultural contribution from 5% to 20% of the GDP.
Gabon has a capacity to yield about 2.4 times what average other producers worldwide can yield. And obviously with a lot of availability of arable lands that are fully done under sustainable development law, because that's becoming a major concern for buyers in the world.
Gabon imports over 450 million euros of food each year. So agriculture is not that developed, but it is developing. And as it is being developed, it is developed in agro-industries like palm oil. And this is being done while trying to preserve the environment by the Olam Group.
Olam International partnered the government's vision and signed up for a 60-40 joint venture with the government of Gabon for upstream palm plantations through cultivation of 300,000 hectares of land. Olam Palm Gabon, or OPG, started operations in Avala in Kango district in 2011. As the plantation grew, work commenced on constructing a processing mill in 2014 that began churning out crude oil in 2015. In 2 years, with an employee strength of over 5,000, mostly local folk trained for palm plantation farming, Olam Palm Gabon has brought the government's vision of diversification to fruition. Olam Palm Gabon now operates across the geography of Gabon, Avala in Congo being the first and Moila in south following suit, producing 90 metric tons per hour, double the capacity of Avala to cater to the double plantation area. Makuku in north also cultivates an area of 8,000 hectares that is adding to the production capacity. Palm oil processing is labor-intensive. Palm trees produce bunches of palm fruits that are extracted for crude oil. each bunch weighing roughly 50 kgs. But for the toughened locals, it seems nothing more than just a walk in the park. Extraction rates were in the region of 21 to 22% in 2015, but with maturity of trees, 25% of oil can now be extracted. Tractors loaded with tons of fruit leave the plantations and head out towards the processing mill for extraction of palm oil. OPG's Awala mill churns the pulp of the fruits and makes it pass through various stages before oil begins to surface. At present, it produces 60 to 70 metric tons per day. And with more fruit coming in, the mill is equipped to produce 3 times at 220 metric tons of crude palm oil per day.
So the production depends of the crop reception. If we have more crop, we can produce more oil.
Crude oil extracted at Awala gets transported to the refinery at Lamboree, centrally located between all the 3 crude oil mills, and produces 100 metric tons per day. As crude processing picks momentum, the refinery is capable of producing 250,000 tons per year, which OPG is betting on till 2020. Not all of the crude palm oil processed at OPG's mills are sent to Lamboree refinery. Only 8,000 tons of CPO reaches the factory, while the rest gets exported to countries like Cameroon and Nigeria, where the port logistics with specially designed oil reserves ensure efficient shipping. Of the refined products, apart from Gabon's internal consumption, Europe remains a big export market for OPG.
Deuxième moteur, c'est le moteur export. Parce que nous pensons aussi qu'il faut développer une autre.
The second engine of growth is through exports. We need to develop our expertise in palm oil. Here too, we are partnering with and taking the considerable expertise of Olam International and Olam Palm Gabon JV to develop expertise and ensure food security. One of the steps we have taken is to increase the acreage of cultivation from 18,000 hectares to 50,000 hectares with a strong focus on palm oil.
À 50 000 hectares de développement de plantation, mais avec une forte composante du palmier à huile.
Palm oil production has not only added a fresh dose of stimulus to Gabon's economy, but has also been a great boon to local population of Gabon. Creation of jobs for the local villagers, skilling and training them, and also helping them lead a life of sustainability.
Development comes from creating employment creates a market, and then this is how we evolve. And obviously, in preparing Gabon for the next steps in the regional vision.
Agriculture in Gabon offers opportunities in crops other than palm as well. The country is open to investments and is looking at business partners to sustainably cultivate its land and train its people.
Basic agriculture to feed people needs also to be developed, and this is being done by the government as part of a program also initiated and subsidized by Olam, which is called GRAIN.
Pourquoi
Hence, the program GRAIN, which is part of a solution to guarantee food security. Program GRAIN is a joint venture between Gabon and Olam International, a commodities trading firm, which can help in contributing significantly in two types of outputs or products. One is to boost local production and to add value to the local produce, such that there is a greater commercial value of the local produce.
Agriculture in Gabon offers opportunities in crops other than palm as well. Wood processing, mining and shipping. Gabon is redefining its economy like never before. But there is more to explore in Gabon than just business. While the business traveler will find comfort in an array of 5-star hotels, the leisure traveler will find value in exploring nature. That's coming up after the break. Getting into Gabon's capital could be a bit cumbersome initially, with very few airlines operating in the country. But once you're in the city, there is plenty to look forward to. Sun-kissed beaches with clean sand, world-class roads, superior hospitality, plenty of greenery and clear blue skies. Dig a little deeper, and the local folk leave you mesmerized with the sheer display of vibrancy and color in everything they weave and everything they wear. Gabon is a peace-loving country and friendly to the expatriate community that is helping build its economy. Most connections to the capital, Libreville, are from Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, not a long-haul flight. Carriers like Ethiopian Airlines and Turkish Airlines bring passengers from Asia and Europe, while Rwanda Air ferries passengers from the African continent. As business booms, there is potential for more carriers to touch down in this Central African nation to further propel business as well as tourism.
Gabon is, I said, Gabon is very well connected by air. You have several companies, several airlines coming here, whether they are Europeans or Africans or else. And my personal feeling as ambassador of Gabon to India is I would like to see Air India come here and bring the Indian business people, but also the Indian tourists here. Why not?
For Indians though, getting to Libreville or getting by in the country is not difficult, as Indian origin travel operators are aplenty. Sadhguru Travels is one of the leading players in Africa, taking the message of Think Africa, Think Us to the world. Once in Libreville, one is spoiled for choice when it comes to hospitality. Radisson Blu, Park Inn and Le Méridien are the popular choices. Mostly booked for business traveler, but the hotels are also beginning to see some inflow of wildlife enthusiasts.
Remember that Gabon has been voted as part of the top 50 destinations to be discovered this year by the New York Times Travel Guide, so which is a strong engagement by the international community on the potential that Gabon has for tourism.
For travel and wildlife aficionados, Gabon is home to 13 national parks spread across the deep interiors of the country. With over 80% of the country covered in forest, varied species of wildlife are easy to spot and film. Herds of elephants, lazing gorillas, flocks of birds, and wild buffaloes in the vast expanse are a treat to the eyes. Other fauna like deer and jaguars are also not rare to find. The national parks in Gabon are overseen by the National Agency for National Parks, which is entrusted with the responsibility of protecting wildlife, undertaking research activities, and promotion of tourism.
Our mission, we are focused about conservation and also development like tourism.
We also are focused on ecotourism. Gabon is still an untapped land, and I think that Indian tourists, rather than going here and there, should be coming to Gabon and see the beauty of the Gabonese forest, of the fauna and the flora.
From the heart of Libreville, a 25-minute ferry to the small island of Point Denis through the Atlantic Ocean stands the Bay of Turtles Lute. Serene, exquisite, and totally immersive for the leisure traveler, Hotel Bay Turtles Lute is internationally acclaimed for its pristine beaches, lush tropical vegetation, and traditional African orientation. An open-air restaurant that serves authentic French cuisine. A blissful swimming pool and opulent rooms to spend quality time in the lap of luxury.
Se situe surtout au mois de décembre et au mois d'août. C'est là où nous avons
Normally, the best time for clientele was December and August. Now, with petroleum not being the only focus of the economy, there's a constant influx of tourists.
Qui se passe au Gabon, on peut dire que l'activité a chuté un peu.
Hotel Bay Turtles Lute is nestled in the heart of Pongara National Park that can be navigated on 4x4 SUVs. It covers an area of almost 1,000 square kilometers, composed mainly of mangrove forests.
We have a good potential about tourism in Gabon. I can speak about the national park like Luango, even though the reserve like Wonga Wonge, and also the national park near Libreville like Akanda, Pongara is the national park that we focus about tourism.
Back in Libreville, the country is on a mission to develop robust social infrastructure like schools and hospitals to offer a better education and quality of life to its citizens, as well as expats residing in the country with their families.
Education, we are a country where most, if not all of the population is educated. So everybody goes to school here. Most of the population speaks French because French is not the national language, but it's the official language. So education is fine, can be improved, but health also, there are progresses. We have more and more very modern hospitals, but we need, in addition to those facilities, we need also to improve the level of service in those facilities.
Amit Garg is an entrepreneur of Indian origin who runs a timber processing factory at Gabon's Special Economic Zone. He has recently relocated to Libreville with his wife and daughter to enjoy the benefits of a booming economy, breathing fresh air every morning out in the open blue sky, something that has become rare in India. But while he makes his living from the GSEZ, there is no compromise on the quality of education or even social safety that he is able to offer his family.
There is one English school, else other are French school, but that English school is really very nice. They have international board and mixed culture, mixed crowd, and people are from America, South Africa, and people are like from everywhere around the world. So my daughter is finding very good. She is enjoying the school.
Gabon, truly designed by nature, a land less traveled, but a gold mine of opportunities. Politically stable, business friendly, lush, green and evolving. An African nation poised to grow, succeed and emerge in a truly sustainable manner. Investors are reaping benefits from this engine of growth already, and more investments are coming with the diversification of the economy. Ease of doing business, open FDI and tax-free investment options. The heart of Africa is pulsating, beckoning and infusing life in the region. Gabon calling.